Hello, everybody, and welcome to another issue of our APMG Midday Mentors program. Very glad to have you here, and very happy to have with me today Mr. Tomasz Nedzi, who is the CEO of SKILLS, a global consulting and training company based in Poland and Germany. We know each other for quite some time, right, Tomasz? Welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thank you very much for this introduction. Yes.
I know that you are quite active in project management, and we are currently still under a different situation with COVID-19 in different areas of the world. But you are active quite a while. You also have been researched a bit more into this exciting scheme called AQRO. And we just want to let people know that you have recently released a white paper. What was the reason for that?
Okay, so thank you very much for this question. I spent last 16 years on teaching people how to manage the projects. So I've started from Princeton, which is probably known to you. And then recently I also went to teach, which is last 7 years I spent on teaching agile project management. And whenever we teach about the project management, there is a certain area lacking, because we usually assume that people and resources will be there in projects, and we assume that's kind of obvious because we need them, they will be there. But probably that's not very simple, because people are doing two types of jobs. They usually working in operations, they do operational stuff, and then they are usually also assigned to the projects. And what I found out is that usually the people are in the courses, they are telling that that's not very easy to get people outside of operations, to take them from operations, because they are usually busy, and therefore the projects suffer. That's how I got interested into AQRO, which is this book, which is very interesting. And the name for it is that subtitle is Stress-Free and Efficient Human Resource Management. That's the method which was created by Dr. Consuela Uch. She was creating it for last 25 years by managing the company, and also teaching and consulting to companies how to combine operations together with project management. That's this book is all about. That's about human resources, really.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can imagine when people are in operation, in their typical operational job, but then also assigned to projects, that's causing a conflict, isn't it? It's a conflict known for years.
It's really that's the first paragraph of my white paper. It says about the sentence I've heard from one of the vice presidents. He said, I need my people to work 12 hours. First, they need to work 8 hours on operations, and then I would like them to work additional 4 hours on projects. So that's unfortunately, it's not that they need to work one after another, which is first 8 hours on operations, then to add an additional 4 hours for project management. The people are expected to do it in the same time, which creates multitasking. People are usually doing different stuff, the different parts of their work in the same time, which decreases the efficiency, because then people are not, we assume obviously that our brain is capable of multitasking, but it is not. Whenever we do something or we do two things in the same time, our brain would usually stop for a moment, do one thing, and then change to another thing and go back to the previous thing. So in fact, it is creating a loss of efficiency, and it also increases the stress in people. So that's a difficult situation, to have multitasking in the same time, and also different interruptions, because we usually we are at the moment we are both at the home office. So it might be easier to work at home office, because there are in the open spaces, there are lots of people, there are phones calling, there are people talking, somebody will come and ask us for something, but usually that also creates interruptions. And whenever we are interrupted, it would usually take us 10 to 20 minutes to go back to the previous state of efficiency we had. So whenever there are interruptions, we are not working properly. So that's where AQRO comes, because AQRO says we can work on operations and we can work on project management, but never in the same time. That one employee shouldn't do both in the same time. Therefore, AQRO is planning the human resources on a department level, because usually one employee cannot really decide on the priorities. So therefore, the AQRO is helping to manage the resources on the department level by planning the use of resources.
Yeah, and that on a very practical level. I mean, you raised this before, like, okay, my employees can work for 8 hours and I need them for another 6. That means that it comes up to 14 hours. How is AQRO resolving that?
And it's really beautifully doing something with it, because it's in fact we don't need 12 hours from our employees, because when AQRO comes into the picture, we could see the increases in efficiency. So it might seem that we don't really need 12 hours. We might need 8 hours, but we need to separate both types of work. So we need to, like, and AQRO is doing that. So we would usually plan in a perspective of 1 month. We would assign people to 4 hours slots of time, and they would do either operations in one slot, either they would do project management in one slot. They wouldn't mix both of those. And that's where those 2 types of roles are coming in AQRO. One of them is operations role, where the people are doing operations. So, and then there is a project management role, where one person can do a project management. But there is also additional role, which is very important. And I mean, that one is crucial, because we usually know what operations are, what project management is, but then we don't probably understand that there should be another role, which is the contact person. And the contact person is very important, because that's the person who is taking on whole communications coming to the department. So that really person is a gatekeeper. So this person is blocking the incoming communication, and it is not going to the certain employee, because that certain employee needs to work without any interruption. So that's what's the beauty of AQRO. It's
so
not.
Is the employee stress-free because there's a gatekeeper who manages that the information or the request is going into the right direction? Is that correct?
Yes, that's gatekeeper of stress. He keeps or she keeps the stress away, but also that person is really gatekeeper for a focus, because the people can focus on the work they do. They are not disturbed in any interruptions in the same time. So that's very important and crucial person. And AQRO also gives suggestions who should be doing that role, because AQRO also profiles the people according to MBTI profiles, which is Myers-Briggs type indicator. And then we would usually assign people because they like that job. So we wouldn't really force the person who didn't like to talk to the people. We wouldn't force that person to talk to the people. We would choose the person who is really in love with the clients and in love with the contact with the people. So that contact person would be really liking the job, and also keeping the other people from the disturbances.
Wow, with efficiency and stress-free, using AQRO on a departmental level, how do you combine this with the other project management methods that you have mentioned before?
Okay, so as far as that's probably that is something which I describe in my white paper, because I think that's important to show that there is a solution to the problems we had on projects. For example, in Prince2, there is an organization team which says we should put the people into the roles and we should know which roles are which is what is the responsibility and competency of that role. So first, what we can do is AQRO helps us to plan the resources. So we will know at the department level who is available to do what, and therefore we could assign people to those roles. On the other hand, there is a generic project role on AQRO, which Prince2 can help to decompose that role into the specific roles that Prince2 is describing. There is also the PMBOK guide I have written about, and then PMBOK guide comes from United States, and it says that there are certain processes we need to manage in order to manage the project. Majority of those processes are involved with people, with human resources. So whenever we are planning the project, we need to know who will be available when, and that's where AQR is helping. So we will know what resources are available when, and then we will be able to assign those resources because they are freely available based on the service plan, which comes from AQRO. There are also agile methods, and in that white paper, I said that there are methods which help us to deliver something like Scrum, and there are methods which help us to manage the projects in an agile way. And in both of those, that's crucially important in agile methods to have the resources available when they are needed. Because as we know, in agile methods, we need to deliver on time, on budget, and according to quality. So that's really difficult when the resources are not there. And AQRO is really showing us what resources are available when, and then we can assign them on the department level, which is that really releases the conflicts we have on a department level, because that will be agreed with the department head when the people will be working where. And there is something else I have written in my white paper that's also about the operations. How can we support operations? And there's management by exceptions and management by objectives where AQRO can help, because and the employees, in order to achieve objectives, they need to have a time available and they need to focus on those. So therefore, AQRO creates a space to achieve those goals. And the last one that was also about the coaching and facilitation. For both of those, coaching and facilitation, we need the time, and AQRO provides the time for it.
Wow. All right. I think people might want to have a look into this white paper. It is available on the APMG website, and you will find the link below the video here. Tomasz, thank you very much. I hope everything's all right with you and with the COVID-19 situation. Thank you very much for the time we spent together, and wish you a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.